Good morning. My name is Thao. I'm a senior here at St. John's University. Today I want to talk about my senior capstone. For my senior capstone, I really want to focus on the Affordable Care Act. Now, I want to focus on the Affordable Care Act because as an accounting and biology major, I really wanted to incorporate healthcare and accounting into one thing. And as a future goal, I want to work in the healthcare industry one day, and I thought that by looking at the Affordable Care Act in the healthcare industry, it'd be a good stepping stone for me to understand what goes on in the industry and how do things work. Now, I believe looking into this is very important because increasing healthcare costs affects everyone. As we get older, look at insurance, we need to know how does increasing healthcare costs affect how much we're going to pay for insurance later in the future. Now, my specific question for the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as the ACA, is the Affordable Care Act working in slowing down costs and improving health quality? Now, the key goal of the ACA, as you can see up here, was to slow the growth of costs that we're spending per year while we're enhancing access to those for coverage and getting better health outcomes. So what I really want to hone in on is quality care over quantity care working for the ACA. And in order to do this, I started out with a little broad research, and what I stumbled upon was the Commonwealth Fund. And what they did was they looked at how the ACA impacted the US economy in the past 5 years, so from 2010 to 2015. And what they found was that healthcare cost growth has indeed decreased since the ACA has been enacted. And you can see that in this graph right here. So in the bold line right here is national healthcare expenditure, and in this dashed line right here is our GDP expenditure. And what this graph is portraying is the percent change annually. And as you can see from 2010 to 2013, how much we're spending in healthcare is exactly consistent with how much we're spending in GDP in percent change wise. However, in 2014, there was an increase in national health expenditures, but the Commonwealth Fund did conclude that we are spending less on a growth percent wise than we had before the ACA was enacted. Now, the second thing I looked at was the New England Journal of Medicine. And this article is pretty much, does preventive care save money? And it argued that even though some preventive care is more expensive than treatment care, over the long haul, over the long term, for an individual, it's better for them financially and on healthcare wise, because as you take more preventive tests, it's going to save you more money in the future than doing treatment costs, and it's going to save you better health because they want to stop you while you can get preventive tests and not get the disease, rather than having you get the disease and do treatment tests. So, following on those two research studies, I really wanted to see how effective we're using our money towards healthcare. So, I broke down the quality of healthcare in 4 things: healthcare costs, health outcomes, preventive care, and health coverage. And by breaking it down to these 4 things, and with the help of the CDC, I was able to get some raw data on mortality rates, preventive care tests, and health coverage for different demographics. And by getting those different raw data, I created this cost-effective analysis where I looked at how much we're spending on healthcare costs and what we're getting back for it. And then by taking that cost-effective analysis, I then took it to a statistical analysis and used the t-test to find if those changes in effectiveness is significant from the ACA time period or the pre-ACA time period. So I first started out with the big thing, the healthcare costs. So what this looked at was pretty much how much are healthcare costs growing per year, and is there a difference from the ACA times to the pre-ACA times? And as you can see from this graph from 2001 to 2015, obviously our percentage change is fluctuating all the time here, but from 2001 to 2009 was our pre-ACA era, and the average growth in percent-wise was 4.33%. And our ACA times from 2010 to 2015, the average growth in percent-wise was 2.56%. So obviously there has been a decrease in growth cost during the ACA times. However, when you take this to a t-test, you get a p-value of 0.131, which just means that there's no significant difference that sees in growth, in cost growth. However, as you can see from these averages though, there has been a slow growth. So then I really want to focus on the cost-effective analysis. Pretty much what this does is it measures the quality of healthcare that we're getting by comparing how much we're putting into healthcare and what we're getting into healthcare. So I use this equation, the healthcare cost divided by the healthcare outcome. So pretty much what it's trying to do is you look at if the cost goes up in the year after, you divide by the outcome that stays the same. It's essentially less effective because you're paying more money to get the same result. If the cost goes down and the outcome stays the same, you're more effective because you're paying less money and getting the same result as the year before. If the cost stays the same and our outcome goes up, it's more effective because we're spending the same amount of money and our results are better. And then if the cost goes up and the outcome decreases, it just means we're less effective because we're spending more money and having less of a good result. So then we're using the cost-effective analysis towards U.S. mortality rates, and I chose U.S. mortality rates because it's a good signifier of healthcare quality, because once you're dead, your quality of life is pretty much zero. So in order to do this, I did change in healthcare costs per year divided by change in mortality rates per year. And pretty much what that means is, as you can see in 2014, we can do a little example here where in 2013 and 2014, the mortality rate change was 7.3 per 100,000 lives. And the 2013 to 2014 change for cost was $104 billion increase. So in order to do this cost-effective analysis, you do 104 divided by 7.3 to give us a factor of 14.31. And what that 14.31 means is we're spending $14.31 billion to decrease the mortality rate just by a factor of 1. So as you can see in this graph over here that I did for 2001 and 2014, our effectiveness level for mortality rates in 2014 is 14.31. However, in 2013, you can see it's 47.54, which just means that we were less effective in decreasing mortality rates by the amount of money we're putting in 2013 compared to 2014. So I wanted to do that for the pre-ACA era and the ACA era. So as you can see here from 2001 and 2009, the effectiveness level that we're putting money into decreasing mortality rates fluctuates around 10, and in 2010 and on, it's slowly getting worse in effectiveness rate, but it comes down in 2014. So when you take this to a t-test, by comparing both eras, you get a p-value of 0.47, which means that there really is no significant difference between how much we're putting in and what we're getting back from mortality rates, and it just means that there's a little too much volatility in our effectiveness level to get a read on what's going on here. So the third thing I want to do is like a preventive test. And preventive test is important because what the ACA really wanted to do was make sure we prevent disease before we have to treat them. And I broke this into poverty levels also because poverty levels is important for the ACA because they really wanted to get health insurance out to those who couldn't afford it. So in blue and orange right here is the two lowest poverty levels, which is also correlates to these top two lines right here. And following the equation, cost of healthcare divided by percent of adults for colorectal tests, which tests for colon cancer and rectum cancer, and it's also the second leading cause of cancer death in men and women. I found this to be really significant for a visual because, as you can see, from 2005 and on, we're getting more effective for those in the lowest poverty level and getting how much we're putting out there and what we're getting back for it. So we're getting more people to take colorectal tests, which is a good thing because it allows them to understand if they have colorectal cancer or not, and that's better than knowing early on than later on. Furthermore, as you can see, I didn't have enough data points as CDC only gave it to me for 2013. Therefore, I was unable to do a statistical analysis for it, but here's a visual to understand that we did better for a lower poverty level than the other poverty levels compared to. So the second thing I did for preventive test was mammogram test because breast cancer is the most common cancer among women, and using the same equation I have right there, you can see that the top two poverty levels pretty much stay consistent along 2008 and 2013, along with the other two poverty levels. Pretty much what that just means is that the amount of money we're putting in per year, we're getting the same output, as in we're being the same amount of effectiveness for a good 2005 to now, or 2008 until now. Once again, I didn't have enough data points from the CDC to do a t-test to find if there's a difference in growth or not, but as you can see, we're getting the same health outcome that we're getting for the money that we're putting out there. So lastly, I really wanted to focus on healthcare coverage, and the first thing I looked at was healthcare visits for children. And this is important because children need to go to the doctors for immunizations, physicals, and checkups, and pretty much what that does is it gets them to keep going for a longer life. And as you can see, I broke this up in percent changes, And for the pre-ACA and post-ACA, you can see that when you take this to a t-test to see what the growth for effectiveness is, you can see that the pre-ACA had a bigger growth in effectiveness, meaning it's worse, it gets worse in effectiveness, and the post or the ACA times has pretty much leveled off. And when you take this to a t-test, you get a p-value of 0.029, meaning the growth is significantly different, and therefore the ACA is doing a better job at decreasing its effectiveness level at a slower rate than previous years. And lastly, I looked at healthcare for 19 to 25-year-olds, and this is significant because the ACA allows anyone who's 26 and under to be covered under their parents' plan. And as you can see, the pre-ACA times, effectiveness level is getting worse, and then once ACA comes in, effectiveness level is a lot better for how much we're putting out there and increasing coverage for those in that time and that age frame. So when you take this to a t-test, you get a p-value of 0.015, which is significantly different, which just means that we're being a lot more effective in the ACA times to increase coverage for those in the 19 to 25-year-olds compared to times before that. So in conclusion, is the ACA working at decreasing costs? Yes, growth in cost is either decreasing or we're doing a lot better at slowing down the rise and increase for those costs based on those previous graphs that I just showed you. And is the ACA working in increasing healthcare quality? Yes, the effectiveness in spending that we're doing is significantly different than what we're doing before the ACA. As you can see, we're doing a lot better at either slowing down costs or slowing down the rate at which our effectiveness that this money is going towards to fix our outcomes. So there were limitations with my research here. Most of the data that we released were only up to 2014, which means that I'm missing 2.5 years from then until now. And healthcare is a very broad area, which means that you can measure quality in many different ways, and I just chose those because that's what I thought was important for this presentation. Now, if I were to continue this research, I'd like to look at different or more preventive measures and tests because that just gives me a more accurate depiction of what's going on in healthcare. I'd also like to look at mortality outcomes of preventive diseases, which just means that we can do like how many people are dead after they don't take these tests or how many people aren't dead after they do take these tests. And then I'd like to wait another 5 years just to gather more data points so I can do like a 10-year after ACA is enacted or a 10-year before ACA has been enacted. Thank you.